What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to give you my real life hands-on experience about traveling in a Tesla Model 3. This is 2022 version, and I've been all the way from Denver, Colorado to Los Angeles, California and back. And I've also been from Denver, Colorado to Dallas, Texas and back. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content. I plan to make some more of these Tesla videos if you guys enjoy it. So it really helped me out if you like and subscribe to the channel. And let's jump into it. Now, I've only had the Tesla Model 3 for a few months now, so I'm still kind of a newbie when it comes to Teslas and just EVs in general, but I've driven this thing a lot and I've traveled long distances, so I've been able to get a full hands-on experience on how it is to travel. I know a lot of people don't usually travel in it. They're pretty nervous or just don't feel comfortable with the EV charging stations and just being readily available when you need them. A lot of stuff can happen between you and the charger, so you just never know. But I'm here today to tell you guys what my experience has been like. So the Tesla I drive is the 2022 Tesla Model 3. It's the single motor, so it gets less of a range than the dual motor, obviously, but you still get a good amount of range out of this thing, even considering cold weather and stuff, because even at cold weather, I was still able to get around 240, 230 miles out of it when I was traveling down the highway, and I was riding through mountains and a lot of hills and stuff. So I was kind of impressed by what I got out of this. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing that I learned when I was traveling in the Tesla Model 3, and that's the charging stations. So when you type in a destination into the computer in the car where you want to go, it won't direct you straight to the destination, the end destination. It'll direct you to each charger. So in this car, I usually get about an hour, 45 minutes to 2 hours per charge before I have to stop again, on average anyway, depending on how far apart the chargers are. But that could be a good and a bad thing. For me, I'm a pretty patient person, so it's good for me. Instead of seeing, oh, I got 10, 12 hours to drive, I see that I got an hour and a half, 2 hours. So every hour and a half or 2 hours, I know I can refresh and get out, stretch my legs and everything like that. So I kind of like it, but an impatient person probably wouldn't like it. Also, an FYI is I've never had any problems finding a charger along the route. It's always plenty of chargers along each route, especially on major highways. So as long as you take major highways, you should be fine. While we're on the subject of chargers, I did run into a little incident in Amarillo, Texas when I was on my way back to Denver, Colorado from Dallas, Texas. I got there and it was only about 8 chargers, I think, and they were all full. Well, it was 7 that were working, but 8 in all. One of them was out of service. So you will run into that issue where you'll have 1 or 2 out of service, and they were all full, so I had to wait, and we had a couple of people waiting, so that kind of really sucked, because you think that, oh, I can get to a charger and I only got to wait 30 minutes for it to charge up to continue the trip. And then it turns into an hour 15, hour and a half maybe sometimes. So you do have to think about that. They will fill up sometimes, especially during big travel holidays. So you really want to be patient and just wait it out. That's all you can do, really. All right, the next thing you should know about traveling in a Tesla is, like at a gas station, it's usually a convenience store next to it or connected to it, and you can go get food, drinks, or whatever. But with the superchargers, you never know. You can have one out in the middle of nowhere. It's just in a parking lot. You don't have anywhere to get any food, beverages, or anything like that you might need. You got kids, you want to get snacks or whatever. So you definitely need to be aware that you will be stopping at some chargers where there will be no services, even bathrooms. I've stopped at a couple of them where there was no bathrooms either. It's just a charger and that's it. So you definitely want to plan your route accordingly if you plan to get some snacks or anything like that along the route. Another issue you should be aware of, and this is driving on the interstate, especially wide open interstates, that I really noticed when I was out there. I use cruise control a lot. I know a lot of people don't use cruise control, but I can't travel on interstates unless I'm using it. It does a lot of phantom braking, and phantom braking is when the car is going, you got it on cruise control, and it just tries to stop all of a sudden, either because it can't see what's in front of it, or a car comes out of nowhere, like way down the road. I mean, sometimes it malfunctions, but it's usually when, I guess, you coming over a hill or something where it can't really see over the horizon, then it'll phantom brake. But sometimes it'll randomly do it. But that's something you should be aware of also, because when you're on cruise control in the Tesla, you still got to pay attention because it'll break out of nowhere. And if somebody's behind you and it does that, that's definitely not going to turn out to be a good thing. So you always have to be aware of the phantom braking issue. The more you drive it, the more you can kind of know when it's about to happen, so you can hit the gas as it's about to phantom brake, so it'll just keep going. But that's definitely something you want to know about when you're traveling on the interstate, because it could be dangerous out there going 80 something miles an hour and you got cars behind you doing the same and your car stops out of nowhere. Another thing to be aware of is something that I talked about in my last video. Make sure you go check that out if you haven't, but you really want to make sure you precondition the battery before you charge it up, which means you type the destination in to the supercharger wherever you're going, and it'll precondition the battery where it'll be warm and ready for the charger once you plug it in, and it'll charge it a lot faster. I made the mistake of not giving it enough time when it was cold weather outside, and I had to wait an additional 30 to 45 minutes before the car actually started charging because it had to warm up. The reason I did that and I didn't charge it the night before is because during certain times of the day, you get half price charging. Prices may vary all over the country depending on where you are, but you get half the price of the charge session if you go usually before 7 or 8 a.m. I think, and after 11 or 12 midnight, and I didn't want to be out that late trying to charge it, so I said I'll get up, charge it in the morning, get that half price. It's usually about $6 or $7 when it's half price, so that's pretty good because it's normally like $15, $16 when it's on regular price. But overall, this was a fun car to drive, traveling for a while, and it's doable. You just got to be ready for anything. I just like that it's super cheap, it's fun to drive, and I got patience, so I don't mind traveling in an electric car. I don't mind it, but let me know what you guys think. Would you just drive a gas car, or would you travel in this also? It's more, I think this is more of a city around town car. It was perfect for that. It's definitely way better than the gas car when it comes to that, but as far as traveling, I still think you would be better off with the gas car. But in my opinion, I would definitely travel in this car because I'm a patient person. I don't mind my travels being about an hour and a half, 2 hours longer if everything runs smoothly, no packed chargers or anything like that, no cold battery issues. But other than that, yeah, I like traveling in this thing and I'll do it again. But let me know what your guys' travel experience been in the Tesla. It could be any Tesla too, because I would love to know about the other Teslas, especially dual motors and stuff like that, because I got the single motor and that's all I know. But let me know what you guys think about traveling in a Tesla. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video. I really appreciate it. It helps. I'll try to keep these Tesla videos coming if you guys enjoy them. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.